ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So next, in this kinetic theory of gases, what is meant by degrees of freedom? Already we discussed in case of thermodynamics chapter. At the time of thermodynamics, we already discussed about what is that degrees of freedom. Once again we recall that what is meant by the degrees of freedom. What is meant by the degrees of freedom? The number of possible independent ways the particle can have when it left in the free space. The number of possible independent ways the particle can have when it is left in the free space. When it is left in the free space, that is called, what is that? Degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom. For monoatomic gas we have. So degrees of freedom, generally we already discussed this. For monoatomic gas, the number of degrees of freedom, it is denoted with F. It is 3. Only 3 translatory motions. For diatomic gas, how many degrees of freedom we have? For diatomic gas we have this is 5. For polyatomic gas, number of degrees of freedom is 6. Monoatomic gas, diatomic gas and polyatomic gas, we have 3 degrees of freedom. We have 3 conditions. So based on these degrees of freedom, we already discussed gamma. What is the value of gamma for this? Gamma already defined as 1 plus 2 by F. So here, before going to this, we know this already. Kinetic energy, kinetic gas equation, K is equals to 3 by 2 kBT, let us say. That is the kinetic gas equation. Just now we derived this. What is this 3? And this kinetic energy also defined per molecule. Kinetic energy per one molecule. Kinetic energy of one molecule. If n number of molecules, we can write n kBT. For one molecule, it is 3 by 2 kBT. So for one molecule, how many degrees of freedom we have? 3 degrees of freedom. For different molecules, this is F by 2 kBT. So that is du is equals to F by 2 kBT. Also for n molecules, that is n, that is Cv dt is equals to F by 2 RT. So from this Cv can be written as F by 2 R. We already discussed this. For monoatomic gas, Cv equals to 3 by 2 R. For diatomic gas, Cv equals to 5 by 2 R. Then from this, we know Cp minus Cv is equals to R. Cp is equals to F by 2 R plus R. Then Cp is equals to F by 2 plus 1 into R. We already discussed at the time of thermodynamics. And this is the value of Cp. And based on this, gamma can be written as 1 plus 2 by F. Gamma is equals to 1 plus 2 by F. So this based on this, gamma for monoatomic can be written as 5 by 3. For gamma for diatomic gas is 7 by 5. Gamma for polyatomic gas is 4 by 3. This is for monoatomic gas, and this is diatomic gas, and it is for polyatomic gas. For mono and diatomic, and it is polyatomic. Monoatomic, diatomic and polyatomic gas. So this is the values of gamma: 5 by 3, 7 by 5 and 4 by 3. So this is the situation. We already discussed in thermodynamics, mainly it is. But here what is the concept based on this is, the concept is, so this monoatomic gas, F equals to 3, only translational degrees of freedom it is. Translational degrees of freedom. So that means here the one molecule moves only along one molecule moves nothing but translatory motion only we have to consider. So for diatomic, 3 translational, 2 rotational, and this is 3 translational and 3 rotational. 3 translational and 3 rotational. So this is the degrees of freedom. So now here one more thing we have to define is law of equipartition of energy. What is the concept? It is law of equipartition of energy. So it is law of equipartition of energy. What is meant by the law of equipartition of energy? So that means what, for example, in thermodynamics we discussed certain amount of heat energy is applied to the system. That system consists of certain amount of gas, like that. System consists of certain amount of gas. Here law of equipartition of energy means the heat energy supplied to the system, the amount of energy supplied to the system, system or gas, whatever it is, can be distributed based on law of equipartition of energy, based on degrees of freedom. So whatever is the energy supplied to the system, that can be distributed based on degrees of freedom. So for monoatomic gas, if we supply the heat energy to the system, that can be distributed in 3 ways because it is having 3 degrees of freedom. For diatomic gas, it is having 5 degrees of freedom, so that the energy distributed in 5 ways. For polyatomic gas, the system consists of 6 degrees of freedom, so the energy can be distributed in 5 ways, like that. So that is the situation here. Next, so for example, so the definition here it is the amount of energy supplied to the system can be distributed based on degrees of freedom. So first, for monoatomic gas, how the energy is distributed? For monoatomic gas, so the number of degrees of freedom is 3. For monoatomic gas, the number of degrees of freedom is 3. So this is the degrees of freedom for monoatomic gas. Okay, well and good. How the energy? The total energy supplied. So 3 only translational degrees of freedom. 3 are translational degrees of freedom. That means energy distributed along x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. So that means half mvx square plus half mvy square plus half mvz square. So that means whatever is the energy supplied can be distributed in this way. So that means some amount of energy utilized to move the particle along x-axis. Maybe the particle move along y-axis, maybe the particle move along x-axis. So that means the energy supplied to the monoatomic gas is distributed in 3 equal ways, 3 possibilities. That means some possibility along x-axis, some possibility along y-axis, some possibility along z-axis. So that is the energy can be distributed based on degrees of freedom. Here monoatomic gas consists of 3 degrees of freedom. So that's why the energy can be divided in 3 ways or energy distributed in 3 ways. So along x-axis or along y-axis or along z-axis. So based on this, what we can predict that way the particle may move along x-axis or y-axis or z-axis, or at the time the particle move in 3 dimension. So that is the situation. Next, for diatomic gas. How it can be changes? So degrees of freedom is 5. In this 5, 3 translational and 2 is rotational. For diatomic gas, total degrees of freedom is 5. In that 5, 3 are translational degrees of freedom and 2 are rotational degrees of freedom. 3 are translational and 2 are rotational. So now So whatever is the energy supplied, that energy is nothing but translational energy and rotational energy. Translational energy and rotational energy. Translational energy along x axis or y axis or z axis, and rotational energy also along around x or y or z or x. Any two we have to consider. Any two rotational motion about xy or yz or z axis. Any two we have to consider. So the total energy is equals to, this can be written as half mx square plus half m vy square plus half m vz square plus Ex is half I omega x square half I omega y square. So rotational kinetic energy formula. Rotational kinetic energy formula is half I omega x square plus half I omega y square. So this is the translational kinetic energy and this is the rotational kinetic energy. So whatever is the energy supplied can be distributed in 5 ways. 5 ways here, because the degrees of freedom for the diatomic gas 5. So based on that, what we can predict, that particle move along x axis or y axis or z axis. Maybe the particle can rotate about x axis or may rotate about y axis. So 3 translational degrees of freedom and 2 rotational degrees of freedom. That is why the distribution of energy in 5 ways. Distribution of energy in 5 ways. This is for monoatomic gas and this is for diatomic gas. Monoatomic and diatomic. Next, for polyatomic gas. Next, for polyatomic gas. For polyatomic gas, what are the number of degrees of freedom is 6. So that is 3 translational and 3 rotational. 3 translational and 3 rotational. So the total energy supplied is utilized for translational motion and for rotational motion. So translational motion, half m vx square plus half m vy square plus half m vz square plus rotational motion, half I omega x square plus half ix omega square, iy omega square plus half iz omega square. So this is the total energy is equals to sum of translational energy plus rotational energy. 3 translatory motions and 3 rotational motions. So based on this. So this is the, for polyatomic gas, total energy can be utilized, total energy must be utilized to supply the energy for translatory motion and for rotational motion. So that means based on this, particle may move along x axis or y axis or z axis, may rotate about x axis or y axis or z axis for 3 translational and 3 rotational, anything we can. This is called law of equipartition of energy. Whatever is the amount of energy, of course if you supply only 1 joule, that 1 joule also divided in 6 ways here or 5 ways or 3 ways. So depending on the mode of degrees of freedom, the energy must be distributed. So this is based on law of equipartition of energy. This concept is called law of equipartition of energy. So next, so what is the specific heat of a gas molecule? Specific heat of solid. Specific heat of the solid. For one molecule. So solid molecules can execute oscillatory motion also. Rotatory motion, oscillatory motion, translatory motion, anything we have to consider. because solids atoms are very close to each other. Each and every molecule must execute simple harmonic motion about its main position. Each and every molecule must execute simple harmonic motion about its main position. So that is in case of solids. So but what is the specific heat of the solid? So oscillatory motion means, see here, oscillatory motion means particle moves from this position and this position. So like from here to here or here to here. So this move from here to here or this here to here. So that means the total kinetic energy is defined as, so energy of oscillation is, let us say, half kBt. Energy of oscillation is nothing but half kBt here. But this is mean position, this is extreme, and again mean, and again extreme. This is called oscillatory motion. We have the chapter oscillations. In that we can discuss about clearly. So this is mean position, extreme, again mean, again extreme, again mean. So mean, extreme like this. Here this energy of oscillation for one oscillation, the energy is maximum or minimum 2 times. The energy is maximum or minimum 2 times, because at mean position, let us say kinetic energy is maximum at mean position, 0 at extreme position, and again at maximum, again mean 0, like that. So that means while moving, while oscillating, you know the time period of the simple pendulum making oscillations like this, oscillatory motion. This is mean, extreme, extreme, mean, like this. During these oscillations, while the body moving from one place to another place, generally energy must be changes. So that means during one oscillation, the energy must be maximum 2 times and minimum 2 times. 2 maximums we can exist, 2 minimums we can exist. So that's why this is 2 times. Therefore, kinetic energy can be written as 2 into half kBt. So that is kBt. So this is for one molecule. This is for one molecule. This is for one molecule. For n molecules, Ke can be written as Kn kBt. So that is Ke is equals to RT. So that means degrees of freedom for one molecule. Here degrees of freedom for monoatomic gas, that means for one molecule, that is 3. So therefore Ke can be written as 3 RT. Kv can be written as CdT, specific heat of the gas we have to calculate. CdT is equals to 3 RT. Unit of temperature cancel, then the specific heat is considered as 3 R. So the specific heat of the gas is 3 R here. So this is the specific heat of the solid. Energy of oscillation generally is considered as half kBt. For one oscillation, the energy is maximum or minimum 2 times. Maybe here during one oscillation means 2 extreme positions, 2 minimum, 2 times. 2 times the body reaches to extreme position, 2 times the body reaches to mean position. That means the energy is maximum or minimum 2 times. So that's why total kinetic energy equals to 2 into half kBt, that's why kBt. That is for one molecule. N number of molecules, n kBt. N kB is nothing but R. So degrees of freedom for one molecule, that means 3 degrees of monoatomic, 3 degrees. So that is 3 RT. So therefore specific heat of the solid is 3 R. Specific heat of the solid is 3 R. So in the same way, for water molecule, so for one molecule it is 3 R. How many molecules the water having? Water molecule water molecule consists of two hydrogen, one oxygen. That is because it is H2O now. Two hydrogen molecules, one oxygen molecules. Total 3 molecules. So 3 molecules, 3 gas molecules. So therefore specific heat is equals to 3 into 3R. So C is equals to 9R. What is the specific heat of the water molecule? 9R. What is the specific heat of the solid? 3R. Specific heat of the solid is 3R and specific heat of the water molecule is 9R. This is specific heat. Next. So last topic in this chapter, that is mean free path. Last topic in this chapter, that is mean free path. Mean free path. What is meant by the mean free path? So mean free path means, let us say the particles moves randomly in different directions. The particles moves randomly in different directions with different speeds. During the motion of the molecules in different directions with different speeds, due to the motion of the molecules in different directions with different speeds, the gas molecules may collide with other molecules. Gas molecules collides with adjacent molecules or other molecules continuously. So here the mean free path is defined as the distance travelled between, simply we can write it as distance travelled by the gas molecule between two successive collisions. That is called mean free path. The distance travelled by the gas molecule between two successive collisions is called mean free path. So that is the situation. Distance travelled by the gas molecule between two successive collisions. Now it is between two successive collisions here. So let us say lambda 1 is the distance travelled by the one molecule between two collisions, and lambda 2 is that second, lambda 3 is the like this. Then mean free path, lambda can be written as total distance travelled divided by total collisions, total distance travelled by total number of collisions. So therefore lambda can be written as lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 plus and so on divided by n. This is also one formula. Total distance travelled divided by total number of course one molecule moves in different directions. So total lambda can be written as total distance travelled by total number of collisions, or also given as the distance travelled by the gas molecules between two successive collisions. So this is the mean free path. For example, this is the container and these are the gas molecules like this. So let us say I am considering this molecule. So this collides with this one and collides with this one. So first collision happens here, second collision happens here. Here the first collision, here the second collision. What is the distance travelled between two collisions is called mean free path. distance traveled between these two collisions is called mean free path. Or if this molecule collides with the different molecules and it travels the total distance. The same molecule collides with the different molecules and it travels the total distance, or the total distance traveled by the total number of collisions. Total distance traveled divided by the total number of collisions. That is also considered as mean free path. That is also considered as mean free path. How can we derive the relation for this mean free path here? How can we derive the relation here? See here, I am considering 3 molecules here. Here we are considering 3 molecules, 3 identical molecules like this. So this is the form of cylindrical shape. The distance between any two centers is d. Distance between any two centers is d. Let us say it is L. The distance between two centers is d and the length is L here. Now come to the topic. Upper molecule and lower molecules are at rest. See here, upper molecule and lower molecule both are at rest. Only middle molecule can move. Only middle molecule can move. So these two are at rest. Let us say these molecules moves like this in the straight line. Then it collides with adjacent two. This molecule collides with this one and this one, and it traveling in the straight line. Then this molecule collides with all the molecules in the straight line. For example, 2 persons here. All the persons are standing in the line like this. I am traveling between these two lines. Just I am moving like this. That means I am touching all the persons in the 2 lines. So that means whatever is the distance can exist this line, I will collide with all the persons in that line. This line and this line, the same way. So this upper molecule and this is lower molecule. Upper molecule and lower molecule. So middle molecule, this is middle one. Middle one is in motion and these two at rest. Middle one is motion and upper and lower molecules is at rest. So that means during the motion of this middle molecule, it collides with all the molecules in this length. So that means volume of this molecule, volume can be written as pi d square into L. Length is L and what is the area here? So this area is d. So this molecule collides all the molecules in this volume. In that volume, how many number of molecules exist? Then it collides with all the molecules. So that means number of collisions is equals to n number of molecules into pi d square L. Let us say n number of molecules in that volume into number of collisions is n and total number of molecules pi d square L in that. So that's why n into pi d square L. So mean free path is can as total distance. Mean free path is total distance divided by number of collisions. Lambda is equals to total distance travelled L, number of collisions n into pi d square L. So lambda is equals to 1 by n pi d square L. Just here I am considering only one direction. Maybe it travels in different direction also. In one direction it is maximum, but it travels in other directions. Then I am considering lambda is equals to 1 by root 2 pi d square n to n pi d square, root 2 n pi d square. That is, n is the number of molecules in this volume. Number of molecules in this volume. That is, lambda is equals to n by d square. But why I am considering root 2 here? This is only in one direction. It is traveling in different directions. Number of collisions may be increase or decreases. That's why lambda equals to 1 by root 2 n pi d square here. So mean free path is defined as lambda is equals to total distance travelled divided by number of collisions. Here So lambda is equals to 1 by root 2 n pi d square. Lambda is equals to 1 by root 2 n pi d square. Now, but we know PV is equals to or PV equals to RT. PV is equals to n kBT. So here PV can be written as, and here small n is number of molecules, here capital N also number of molecules, kBT. Small n is equals to PV by kBT, or some from this we can write it is P is equals to n by V kBT. So P is equals to n kBT. Small n can be written as P by kBT, number of molecules per unit volume. So therefore lambda can be written as 1 by root n can be written as P by kBT into pi d square. So lambda is equals to kBT divided by root 2 P pi d square. So PV equals to RT, R can be written as n kBT, n by V, number of molecules per unit volume, that is small n here. N is equals to P by kBT, lambda is equals to kBT divided by root 2 P d square. So from this lambda is inversely proportional to P, mean free path is inversely proportional to pressure. If the pressure is more, mean free path is less, and lambda is proportional to T, absolute temperature. If the temperature is more, mean free path is also more. If you draw the graph for this, this is lambda and pressure inversely proportional to, like this, and this is lambda and T, it is directly proportional. Like a straight line passes through origin. So here lambda is equals to kBT by root 2 P into pi d square. So lambda is equals to kBT divided by root 2. Pressure can be written as h rho g pi d square. So that means lambda inversely proportional to density, where rho is the density here. Here the pressure can be written as h rho g. So from this we can write it as mean free path density. If the density is more, mean free path is less. If the density is less, mean free path is more. So this is about mean free path.